Welcome to the 10th iteration of SPiEL, the reading event for people who don't usually like reading events. This time around, we have asked our storytellers to consider the theme, Things to Forget. I've been quite impressed by just how many things all of our storytellers have remembered they want to forget. I'm Dayna Mahannah. I am your host, and please meet my co-host, Joanna Baxter.
Hello! SPiEL exists for writers of all shapes and sizes. That is to say, all genres. That is to say, in whatever shape or dimension your writing must be. We have welcomed established and emerging writers on our revolving stage since 2018, and our community continues to strengthen and grow.
Our lineup today consists of 6 storytellers, writers, poets, and we'll let them take it away. Things to forget.
Things to forget, knowing there might be butterfly effect-like consequences for deleting entire things, concepts, events, and people from the time-space continuum organized thematically into several sub-lists. Sub-list 1, things to forget because I don't think they should exist at all. Billionaires, capitalism, Bitcoin, private property, patriarchy, white supremacy, homophobia, and ableism, Asian murder hornets. Sublist 2, things to forget because I think not knowing them would improve the quality of my life by 15% or greater. The imminent, big one earthquake that will rip the earth open like a zipper. The pain of IUD insertion. What it feels like to step on fresh dog shit in bare feet. What a panic attack feels like. All of grade 8 and 9. The imminence of several catastrophic geological events, including but not limited to the Yellowstone supervolcano that will destroy life on Earth as we know it. The time I watched porn in my bedroom, forgetting that my phone was tethered to a Bluetooth speaker in my living room where all of my roommates were sitting. Sublist 3, things to forget, not because their memory is really doing any harm to anyone, but more because I feel like they're taking up valuable hard drive space that would be better spent on other things. Cole Sprouse, my exhaustive knowledge of Avril Lavigne's entire discography between 2002 and 2007. Normcore aesthetics. Monte Carlo, the casino. Again, this memory isn't really hurting anyone by being there, but having direct experience of Monte Carlo's existence gives me almost no spiritual, political, economic, social, or cultural value to my life, and I would much rather dedicate those neurons to important things, like an encyclopedic knowledge of all instances of CIA interference in foreign elections in socialist countries, so that I had something to say when people say stupid things like, socialism never works. Sublist 4, things to forget because they are so good and so pure that they make it hard to appreciate things that aren't that thing. Gordon Ramsay's chocolate sticky toffee pudding. The last man I dated. Joey's chili chicken. Bernie Sanders. 5 miscellaneous things to forget. The haters. Vegan food that pretends to be non-vegan food. Cauliflower tastes delicious when you deep fry it. Just call it deep fried cauliflower. Don't call it chicken wings. You're not fooling anybody. Just be yourself. What the Regina George of your high school thought of you back then. The entire Harry Potter series so that I could read it again for the first time. J.K. Rowling's appalling transphobia so that I could read it all again for the first time and actually enjoy it.
Becoming by Salma Amer. Everything hurts and everything feels like work. The sole of my foot hitting the gas pedal hurts. The space between how I feel and what I can publicly voice hurts. The ringing of horns in my head from the streets all day hurts. The sharp stares onto my face, hair, and breasts hurt. The void in what has become of our shutting up hurts. The entitled TV presenter dictating how and what I may or may not think hurts. The lost potential hurts. The meaningless, shallow, repetitive, mundane conversations hurt. The survival mode we're all on hurts. The frantic ego trips labeled as bad days hurt. Just participating in this poorly written play hurts. Disconnecting from reality hurts. Being too emotionally invested hurts. Accepting the truth of the matter also hurts. And the stagnation kills me every single day. I let it take away my softness, my smile, and my air. Will I just be a physical body burdened by the circumstances? What will become of me? In a place where I am belittled for my gender and exiled for my beliefs, I become lost. Lost between all what is, what I am fighting, between all of which I know I am meant to be and feel, to be here. So I feel, and everything still hurts. There's no love in this place. There's no love for me in this space. There's no growth in this place. There's limited growth for me in this space. What am I doing here? And why am I so stubborn on still trying? Yet my body is still awoken at dawn some days, asking me to wait, to practice the pause, to seek love in the silence, to seek patience in how the birds fly across, continuing to go about their chirping business, to seek playfulness in how the leaves always greet the wind, to embrace the magic hour, all just for me. Over-romanticizing reality? Possibly. Necessarily. So I stare at the plain white wall. I roll my neck, I flex my toes, I swing my hips, I practice, I dance, I sing, I weep, I write, I film, I scream, and I breathe. And I feel better at being lost. I feel stronger. Often, I can feel softer. I've come back to myself, my own inner home that takes away the pain. I am momentarily washed away and reborn. Sometimes you get to take that home.
This poem is called Reflections from the Past. And it fell all around me, that which I had held in safekeeping in a box far away, in a compartment with a name but no contact. I did what I had, I did what I knew, and that meant push it away, far away, because then was not a good time. Then I had to continue. There was not space nor skin to endure the pains of those past unexpected events. But here, sitting on the edge of the pool on a summer day, smile on my face, watching my friend twirl in a circle with her outreached hands gliding on the surface. Here is where it fell. Heavy, that's what I remember. A heaviness fall onto my being. No, not fall. It floated downwards, so gently settled in place, and at a time that myself knew I was safe. I struggled to convey the recognition and acceptance that accompanied its appearance, as if acknowledge and resolve had become synonyms, as if something within me knew that I could and should only now integrate this pain previously pushed away, as if it were waiting for the most joyful moment to occur. And it was correct, for with that joy, I also welcomed my hurt. I was open for it to fill the hole that had been carved out. It floated down and settled, and I felt whole and heavy. I jumped into the deep end of the pool, feeling the emotions and water all around me.
You think this all happens like a play. as if an absence is wearing a coat, as if something dead could wear life as a coat. You think your hands are animated by a verve that springs from something cold. You think there is an opera box from which you could observe, separately. You think you are contained somewhere. You think you have to get out. You think you are responding to something, as if your empty face was to the sun. You think you are trapped, that you have problems, and that you have to overcome those problems. You think you are flinching from something. You long and lay fatigued. I am here to tell you that it is safe to experience infinity. Infinity cares. Infinity will not leave, because it cannot. Infinity is not boring. Infinity is alive, though you didn't think so. Infinity doesn't want, but here you are. Infinity can't but. Infinity misses you, and it's so glad you're here. Infinity doesn't call, because it has no one to call to. Infinity doesn't think. Infinity has no object. Infinity is happy, because it is infinity. Infinity welcomes you, and you welcome infinity. They are the same. They are indistinguishable, because how could you distinguish the two in infinity? You are infinity. Your eyes are empty on purpose. There is nothing here but us, and there is nothing here.
Thanks for coming. I'll be reading an excerpt from a love story, which I wrote after having a few fascinating wisdom tooth extractions in dentist offices. I was seeking to emulate the style of some of the Latin American magical realists that I grew up with, and also because I was imagining a futurism that could be very similar to the present, only different in subtle ways. And it's set in a small fictional town in rural Mexico. And it's an emerge. Caught between her parents' poverty-informed wishes for her to be a doctor and her own self-interested desires to be an artist, Magola became a dentist. That equation didn't make sense to most, but it's what happened. As she was extracting the last wisdom tooth on the planet, in the desert highlands of Soledad, she thought about how future generations might covet the wisdom teeth of their ancestors, finding within those malformed evolutionary mistakes a key to the past. She really hoped that they would, but as she was cutting gristle, slicing the gum, and twisting while she pulled the tooth from the patient's mouth with agility, she also doubted it. Magola had already dipped her own wisdom teeth in gold and studded them with her uncle's emeralds from the mountains in an effort to persuade her descendants to revere these rare treasures. If not for posterity, then for the timeless language of wealth. This particular mix of logic and creativity was precisely how Magola became a dentist. The tooth glistened in her forceps as she held it up to the light, rubies of coagulating blood sliding down and forming a small red stalactite on that last dental anomaly, semi-precious and ridiculous. Below, the whites of her patient's eyes glowed against cinnamon skin, further accented by a deeply furrowed brow. Magola looked down and realized that her delight was her patient's distress. The furrow in the patient's brow deepened, painting worry lines into her young face as she took in the sight of her bloody tooth, which was now separated from her body and being held by a smiling Magola hovering over her. "Ya está?" the patient articulated slowly and laboriously, with Magola's fingers still exploring the left side of her mouth. Magola's patience expected her to display nothing more than competence with a side of boredom. "See, and wow, it was a good one. Very, very clean," she said appreciatively. Magola had to remember to stay in control of her passion for dentistry. Like prison guards or morticians, it was considered morally compromised for a dentist to take too much pleasure in the gory work they did. The patients didn't want to feel like powerless little mice strapped to the dentist chair and subject to the maniacal feats of a bloody oral frenzy. An overzealous dentist was not agreeable to people. It made them feel unsettled.
The recruiters forget to tell you that when you push up against light speed, things get weird. Your body transport's just fine, but they don't mention we are all quantum entangled with folks back home. And time moves faster for them. You see, when they start dying, we can feel it. A little sting in the back of our mind, and we don't even get to know who just vanished. A few days into the trip, all the newbies get a massive headache as all the entanglements cascade out of existence. Because by then, we are already centuries into the future. Everyone we knew has died. It's natural, they tell us, to want to cling to their memories. Natural, but futile. They say to just let it happen, that we're a different breed now. The trip allows some weeks for crew recovery. Some never do. Their minds broken by the tsunami of death and distances too vast to comprehend. They are marooned in their past. Sometimes I envy them. After 4 tours, I can no longer remember my mother's face, or my siblings. There isn't a lover I can name, a friend I can hold dear. All this for commerce. Will our cargo even be profitable back home? If we're lucky, there will still be a market. Or we might have been broke before we cleared the solar system. Within the closed environment of our ship, our bubble of time, most of us function normally. We get the goods, we turn back around, and return to learn the world is no longer home. Unrecognizable. As alien as those distant civilizations whose gold and goods fill our hold. What else is there for us to do but ship out again? Space travel ages us in strange ways. Subjectively, I'm 27. I was born 5,400 years ago. But on a cellular level, they tell me I'm a hard-working 86. Comes on sudden. My organs are failing. I already can't easily breathe or dare or walk in Earth's gravity. Everything tastes weird. Treatments exist, but our DNA records were lost when this shipping company reactor melted down 3,000 years ago. I don't have long to go. We're a different breed, and we too are dying. No one knows me anymore but those I've shipped out with. Soon I'll just be another mental sting in a handful of minds. And then I, too, will be forgotten. They won't even know it was me.
That's a wrap for SPiEL 10. Remember to check us out on Instagram at SPiEL_Vancouver and Facebook at SPiEL Vancouver. We're a quarterly event, so we'll see you next time at the end of February.
Thank you to all our storytellers for putting themselves out there. It's been really amazing having you, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.